Hello everyone, this is Keith from MilesofSmilesRVing. Today I'm going to do an installation video. I'm going to be working on our Keystone Cougar 25 MLE, and my project is to relocate the spare tire on the back of the trailer and put it underneath the trailer using the Bal underslung spare tire carrier. And because it has an enclosed underbelly, it's a little different. I did do one on our previous trailer which had an exposed underbelly. The system really worked great, so I'm going to try and take you through this process, and hopefully this will help you out if you want to do the same. So let's get started. So first things first, I'll give you a look at the product that I will be installing. And it will be the Bal Hide A Spare, and it'll be model 28218B underslung mount. So that is if you have an enclosed underbelly. And the first thing we got to do is just make sure everything's here. We'll open up the box, see what we have. All right, we have some mounting hardware, some more mounting hardware. This will be on the passenger side. That'll be your underslung bracket. The other bracket, which will be on the driver's side, is this one here. It will have the pivot here, so you can pivot it down when you go to retrieve your spare tire. This is the mount that you will put across the bars like that, and then your spare tire will sit on top of it. So it looks like everything's here. Something that's not included with the kit is the bolts to secure it to the frame of your trailer. So I went to the hardware, bought some 5/16 grade 8 bolts, which they recommend, and the lock washers and washers to hold it onto the frame rail. This is a look at the tools I'll be using. As I stated earlier, these are the bolts I bought at the hardware, 5/16. They have 1/2 inch head on it there, so you need a socket. Hammer with a punch to get my holes, a drill, of course, 5/16 bit, clamps to hold on my brackets till I get them drilled, a knife. I'm going to have to cut the underbelly to do this installation. Reason being that we don't know what's underneath the underbelly, so we gotta look in there so we don't drill into something and cause a bigger mess. And also got this off of Amazon. It's RV underbelly tape, so we'll see how that works. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean up the underbelly where I'm going to do the cutting, just so I get that done ahead of time and it'll dry off. I'm going to wash it with a little soap and water and then wipe it down with some rubbing alcohol. That way I can get that done before I slice it. It'll just be too hard to try and clean everything up if it's sliced. So I'm going to do that first, and then we'll get started with the installation. The brackets are 14 inches wide, and my plan is, right here's one mark, right there's the other mark. That's 14 inches. That's where the hanger will be placed. So I just want to wipe this up, get it cleaned up. And I will come back and wipe it off with some alcohol. I'm going to go do the other side right now. Now, one thing I did find out, I was trying to peek over here just to see where the wires were at, and to take these out, I took several out, and all I used was a pair of vice grips and just twisted and pulled down on it. You'll break the little plastic piece. But anyways, my point is you can reuse these. I tapped these back up with a hammer after they came out, instead of putting a self-tapping screw in there, and we just came back from a camping trip and they are holding fine. So just a little tidbit, in case you do pull these out, you can probably use them, reuse them. You just got to take a hammer and tap them back up in. I'll show you a little picture of what it actually looks like, this pin here. But they shoot those up at the factory with sort of like a nail gun thing, and it just goes right through the edge of the lip of the frame. All right, I'm gonna go get my alcohol and wipe them down. So this is what I'm planning on doing. I'm measuring from the bracket coming straight down here. I'm measuring out 7 inches. And this is going to be the outside edge of my mounting bracket. I got a piece of chalk here, which I can see, and they said the total width you need is 14 inches. And we got 14 inches over here. So I'm going to mark that also. And I'm going to go on the other side and do the same thing, just go 7 inches from the brace here and mark that on the other side so that everything will be even. So right here's my bracket. I'm going to measure out 7 inches from it. Right there was my mark. And 14 inches from that. Right there, and I'm going to go and clamp my brackets up just to see, and possibly I might move it an inch or two one way or the other. Take a look and do a preliminary look at what it's going to look like when it's mounted. So this is where I want to mount the passenger side bracket. This is a side that you will drop it down to pull out to retrieve your spare tire. You don't want to do that on the driver's side because you'll be on the traffic side. So what I'm going to do is put some C-clamps on here to hold this. And I came across to my 7 inches, put it right on there, and I'm going to go over and do the same to the other side and see how everything lines up. So I'm going to put the C-clamps on now. Good. That's not going anywhere. My plan to put the bolts, I'm going to put 2 right here. I'm going to put 1 there and the other bolt right there. And that's what I did with my last Hide A Spare that I put, and it held up for, I had no problem at all with it, because this basically your hanger here is hanging on your lip here also, so it's going to really be a sturdy mount. If you want, you can put self-tapping drill bits or self-tapping screws in there also for extra if you so desire. I don't think I'll go that route because, like I said the last time, the 2 bolts were more than adequate. Okay, so this will be the where the pivot bar goes. And line the bracket up with my mark over here. And I will put the C-clamps on this side here. Looks good on my mark. One C-clamp. Okay, gonna check my marks on here on the other side just to make sure. Yep, right there's my 7-inch mark there, so I'm good there. This mounting bracket I pushed flush against the frame, attached to C-clamps on both sides. So the next step, I guess, is going to be open up the underbelly here just to make sure. I'm not sure what that one there is for, but I'm going to cut it across here and up some. That way I can see what lies in here against the rail. I don't feel anything there, but on the other side it feels like something's laying over there, so double check. That's my mark. So my bracket is fine. Like I said, it's up flush against the inside of the I-beam. So what I'm doing now, I'm getting ready to cut the area so I can see if there's any wires laying in here. And what I went and done, I marked where my bolts should be coming through. Will be coming through in this area here. That way I can get a visual to see what would be in there. If not, I might go with the upper holes on the bracket, but I basically want to stick with the 2 bottom ones, and I did the same on the other side, just so whenever I cut it and I pull it up, I'll be able to see what I'm dealing with. Okay, so I'm gonna just cut across here and then a couple cuts up this way so I can see in to see where I'm going to drill the bolts. And I'm going to do it really carefully just to make sure nothing's on the other side. Frame end's right there. All right, so here's the good news. You probably can't see it, but we'll try and take a look. So I don't know if you can see in there or not, but there's a little green wire there. That one's laying on the underbelly here, so I'm not going to be drilling into that. There are wires right there. Let's see if you can see it or not. The wires there, they are hung up and they are away from the frame. So this side I'll be good no matter what I want to do, whether I want to drill through it or use the self-tapping. So this side will be good. So this side's a little different. We got the gas line here. So I'm going to cut up across here and take a look. See, there's already a hole right there, but cut across there and see what lies underneath the underbelly here. I know this is the side you got the drain and the sewage on, so we'll cut it across here and take a look. Feels hollow there, but we'll find out in a second. And you really don't probably have to use a roller, but I want to try and keep it straight. Just put my fingers up there just to make sure I'm pushing away any type of wires that might be in the way. I don't know if you can see, but we certainly got the mother load of wires here. We got wires there, we got wires in the back, we got water line there. Let me see what I can do here, make sure they're out of the way when I drill. Okay, next, as good as I can, I'm going to try and center punch my holes that I'm going to drill. Alright, we'll see what that does. I'll go over on the other side, do the same thing. Alright, so my plan is to take this block of wood, put it up behind everything against the frame. That's high enough that when I drill, it'll drill into the wood if it hits anything. So I'm going to try and place this behind the wires and the water line. And it's a good thing that I marked these where the bolts were going to be, because there you can see. That way I'll have the wood placed in the right position. All right, let's see if I can get this up in there. Yeah, we got everybody and their brother here. All right, in place. Alright, should hit wood pretty soon. Alright, we got one done. I'm going to slide the block up. Slide the block up and get the other one. Alright, so I got the hole drilled. Got my block of wood behind it, which worked out really well. I'm going to put the one bolt in and hold this plate. Alright, I'm going to slide the one bolt through and put the washer and lock washer on the back side of it. See how much I got sticking through there. Oh yeah, should be good shape. Alright. Get a washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Oh yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, running out of room on my video card here, but if you can see in there, that's my bolt coming through. I put a little rubber grommet on the end. Did it on both of them. Hand me my flashlight there, dear. So there you can see I got that bolt through, lock washer, nut, and I put a rubber grommet on the end, and then I'm going to cut a piece of foam board and put behind everything because, yeah, just to be extra safe. All right. Okay, so we're going to repeat the procedure over here and drill out the 2 holes here. Gotta get rid of my watch, it's in the way. And I'm going to put my, even though there aren't any wires over there, I'm going to put my block over here anyways. Well, there are wires, but they're out of the way. Alright, I got my block back here. I am going to use it. And by the way, you should wear safety glasses. My wife reminded me of that. I guess I wouldn't like a hot piece of metal in my eye. Alright, I'll get my nuts and washers on the other side. and snug that one up a little bit. Snugging it up enough to hold it steady. All right. One more hole. All right, get my block of wood out of there, get the other bolt put through, tighten them up. All right, tighten up our final bolt on this side. Alrighty. Gonna put two of my rubber grommets on the ends of them. One. Two. Alrighty, got the plates on. Now we got to do the hook the bar up to the swivel end of it. Alright, so I ran into a little problem with my installation. I was going to attach the bars to the brackets, and we have this candy cane bar here, and there's a tube inside that's supposed to slide out. Hence, whenever you pull it out from under your trailer, there's a tube inside a tube. Well, both of these, I cannot get this tube out, if you can see it there. Tried some vice grips or whatever. So I got this at Camping World. I called Camping World. They sent me a return mailing label, and they're supposed to send me a new package of the Bal tire rack carrier. So the man I spoke to wanted me to, send everything back and wait for the new one, and I told him, I put all the brackets on, so I'm gonna wait for I'm not gonna take the brackets off, so I'm gonna wait for the other shipment to come in and take the bars out, and hopefully they're the way they're supposed to be, and then we'll get on with the installation. So for right now, I'm just waiting on Camping World. I haven't seen any confirmation on them sending me the new package, so I'm probably gonna have to contact them again, but that's the status right now, and as soon as they come in and if everything's good, we'll finish the installation. Put the stems or the arms on the brackets here, and instructions are pretty vague, but I'll show you what you have here. You'll have 4 long bolts. I'm not going to dig them all out, but you have 4 long bolts. You'll use 2 of these nylon washers or spacers for each one, and then you have a lock nut for each bracket. And these ones here These are carriage bolts. That's what will be the plate that will hold your tire. We'll see that later. And these are all 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter, whatever you have handy. So I'll show you what this looks like. It's a little tricky getting it started, but it's not that bad. So what they'll look like is I think you can see that. Yeah, so you just got your two spacers in between the bar there. Just run your bolt, and then we tighten the nut down. And I'm not going to tighten them super tight. They're self-locking until I get the other side bracket up, or the bar attached, and then I'll come back around and snug everything up. Alright, just snugging it up for now. I'll do the other one and then I'll meet you on the other side. Alright, now it's time to attach the candy cane handle over on this side. Same thing, you've got a spacer in between the bracket there. Might be a little bit difficult. It's a little heavier. The other spacer in. That went pretty easy. Get the other one on. Bolt in, spacer, the bar, slide the bolt into the bar. Where's my other spacer at? Get the other spacer up here. Get the bolt through it. And put the nut on it. All right. right, there we go. Got the candy cane hung. One thing to note, you're supposed to use a dry lube on the inner tube. That way it'll slide off. You don't want a greasy lube because it'll get dirt in that. So get something that's a dry grease. So next we'll put the plate on. Okay, what I'm doing now is, first thing I wanted to do is check and make sure there aren't any obstructions that are going to keep this tire going up against your underbelly here. So I'm finding a spot. It's not going to be center on here, but I was pushing up on here to make sure I have enough give, because I'm going to need probably 1 inch to 1/2 inch, because my tire will be just a little bit more than just the bar to here, so I need a little extra play here. So you got to find a spot where you don't have an obstruction, which I will be good. I measured it, and it's going to be right about 41 inches. Right about 41 inches I want to put the center of my plate. So I'm just going to mark that out. I already measured it once, but I'm going to measure over from the other side here, and 41 inches is where I want the middle of the plate to be, approximately. Right about there. All right, so next we got to pull the pin. I always had trouble with this. There we go. Just turn it that way and pull out. Have to unscrew this. On this, they do recommend putting some grease so it doesn't rust in there, just in case that time that comes that you actually need your spare, you can get it down and use it instead of getting a hacksaw and cutting it out. So you just pull that off, and hear that chattering? That's why you need to put some dry lube on this. I see my mark for my tire. Where I want the center of my plate to be is right there. So this is your plate that your tire will rest on. These right there, or right here, is where your carriage bolts will go on to put this on the tubes, and then you'll have bolts that go up through here. You'll align to with the holes on your rim of your tire to secure it to the plate. So the sun's probably playing some havoc on me here, but I'm just going to line it up to my center spot right there. Center it up a little bit. And I will get my carriage bolt. Got 4 carriage bolts. Just drop it down into that little square. Alright, I'm just going to snug them up a little bit for now. I guess I don't need that other wrench. Just enough to snug it from moving for right now, and I'm going to just lay my tire on here and just see how it positions underneath there. Alright, it'll be on something like that, and yes, I am going to have to put some lube up on there. It makes it a little hard to get it up. Let's take a quick look underneath here and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, nothing there. Look on this other side here, make sure nothing. Yeah. I might even slide it an inch closer to the passenger side here, but looks like it's going to be good shape. I don't feel anything that's hitting up against. All right, we'll tighten down the plate and we'll put the bolts up through. I don't know, I might have to flip. No, it'll have to go this way. We'll have to put the bolts in here to hold the tire on the plate here. So let's get that done. Looks good for now. I think we got it. I definitely got to run and get some lube for those, for the poles. You'll hear it chattering when I pull it back up. This is really going to save me some room in the back of the pickup truck. So I'm going to tighten my plate up some more. Tighten it up, make sure it slides up on there. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Our next step is to mount our wheel over here and find two holes that will line up to go through the holes in the rim there. So I had the tire up on what it looks like. This one and this one will be the one that will go up through the rim of the tire. So I'm going to stick my two bolts up there, stick one bolt up through, tighten it down with the nut. And yes, I will be putting some grease on the top of this where the nut will hold the rim down. what they want you to do is put another nut down here and bring it up to the rim after we make sure that the studs line up right. So we'll pull the tire off and put the other nuts on. So I'm going to snug these up a little bit. Then they want you to run these nuts up to the rim. Right there, so I'll spin those up. Alright, got those snugged up. I'm going to go get some grease for those. Then you just put your washers on. Block nuts, or block washers. And then put your nuts on. So I'm going to go grab some grease and we'll finish this up. Nuts are 19 millimeter or 3/4 inch. I'm just going to put a little grease up on top here. Just so it'll make it easier to get them off when the time comes. Should be pretty well protected under there. There's one. Here's the other one. You don't have to go crazy tight on them because it isn't going to go anywhere underneath there. Alright, like I said, I'm going to have to get some dry lube for the tubes there to lubricate them, but for now I'm just going to slide it up there, and I guess I've got to go find some dry lube somewhere. They may recommend putting a little bit of grease on your knob there that secures the plate. Take a look at the finished product here. I would recommend double checking that you snugged all your bolts. but that's what it looks like underneath a Cougar 25 MLE. Oh yes, one thing I will have to do, I guess I need to put my tape here, which will not be a big deal. I'll do that and we'll wrap this up. Run it a couple inches past where I sliced it. Roll it out. This is what I'm using, got it off of Amazon. RV underbelly tape, 4 inches wide. Cut it off. Get my roller. Yeah, I think it's going to work out nice. So we'll do the other side here also. All right. So I like it. I'll keep you posted on how it works out. We're going on a month-long trip here, so hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and that bell for future notifications. Till next time, this is Miles of Smiles RVing.